Alright, today I will be scalping crypto on the 5-minute time frame, and today I will be scalping with leverage as well, and I will try to make as much profit as possible, but keep in mind I'm using a very aggressive trading style and there's a high risk that I can lose my entire account. So please, whatever you do not try this yourself. With that said, now it's time to start trading. Alright, so I'm looking at Bitcoin right now and it looks pretty bullish on the 5-minute time frame, but I do not want to trade Bitcoin because the volatility is too low. So I will look for another coin, and I want to find a coin with the most action, highest volatility, and also where the volume is high enough to be scalping. And this feature on my website is sorting the coins by volatility and volume combined. If you want to try this tool, you can find the link down below to this website, and all the features on my website are free to use. And right now, this coin seems to be the most volatile coin that also has volume high enough to be scalping on. So I will click on this coin, and when I'm scalping different coins every day, and I don't know anything about these coins. The only thing I look at is the price action and technical analysis for every single coin that I trade. But this one looks very choppy and very unpredictable, so I will not trade this coin. So I will switch to another one. And looking at this volatility, the average movement each 5-minute candle, the last hour, Nero ETH USDT also looks pretty volatile right now. And what we can see on this coin is a big impulse wave here, where the price is climbing upwards pretty hard. This movement from the bottom to this top is 64% in only 14 hours. So this coin is moving by a lot. And after this pump, there's a consolidation phase on this coin. It's moving sideways, but the low on this consolidation movement to this high is still 9 to 10%. So it's still very volatile. And also looking at this pattern, I can draw a resistance line right here. So it looks like this is a reasonable resistance line, and I can also form some kind of sloped support line as well. And in my opinion, this price action looks pretty bullish, and I think there's a high chance that this coin will break this resistance to the upside. So I will go in with a 5x leverage into a long position on this coin. And I'm now in this trade. And the reason why I think this coin will break this resistance to the upside is because looking at the RSI here, the RSI has not been above 70 in the last 24 hours. And also looking at Bitcoin and the entire market today, it looks pretty bullish. And this pattern on Bitcoin also looks like it wants to break and make one more leg to the upside. That's the reasoning behind this long position. There's a bullish consolidation here. And if this coin breaks the resistance, it could be a pretty big leg to the upside. So I'm taking a chance here, but of course what I'm doing here is very risky, and I'm watching this trade at all times, and I will close this trade manually when I think it's a good time to close it. For example, if it drops down to maybe this level, or when this trade is in big profit, when it breaks this previous resistance. If the price drops down all the way here, that's my liquidation price, and this means that I will lose my entire account if the price goes down here. But I will not let that happen. I will watch this coin at all times here. So let's see in a few minutes what will happen with this trade. All right, only a few minutes into this trade and it looks pretty good so far. I'm up a small amount here, $50 on this trade, but if it breaks this resistance, it could lead to pretty big profits. Zooming out here, if I take a line from this bottom to this top right here, I can expect a similar move if it breaks this resistance to the upside. But let's say that I take profit on half of this move. That would be a profit at around 7% with the 5x leverage. So that would be a 35% profit if that happens. And I think it's a pretty good chance of that happening on this trade. And it's also very nice to be in profit right away when scalping, because if the price suddenly breaks down, I can close the position at break even or a very small loss. And boom, there we go. This is the breakout I was waiting for. Pretty insane breakout, guys. And it's almost halfway to this line that I was predicting just a few minutes ago. I think it's like 20 minutes into this trade and I'm up $300 almost. And I will let this run for a little bit longer and then I will secure this profit. So I will add a take profit order at this level. So if it goes back up there, I will automatically take the profit. So this is my take profit line. Let's see if it will get there. All right, too bad this coin dropped pretty hard from this previous top. So I think I will have to be a bit more patient on this trade. But as you can see, it still has a very good chance to breaking this resistance one more time. This was a small fake out, but if it takes longer than 1 hour, I will have to close the trade and look for another trade. All right, guys, I should have taken profit right here because this coin never broke out a second time. So I will now close this trade at break even. All right, there we go. So I lost $26 on that trade. Not the biggest loss, but still annoying because I was up like $400 when that happened. But I happened to not be in front of the computer at exactly this time. So that was a bit of a bummer, right? But now it's time to look for the next trade. And as you can see, we have a lot of action in the market today. And this coin is moving by a lot and also has a lot of volume. But I refuse to trade this coin, guys. Just want to do it. But ALCH could be an option here. So let's have a look at ALCH. But this price action looks very choppy, and I think this price will go further down, but maybe it will pump a little bit first right here. So I'll check back on this coin in a moment. All right, I think it's time to short Coyote right now. It looks very bearish, and I will go in with the 5x leverage on this coin, and it looks like it's hanging from a cliff really. And the reason why I took this trade is looking at this previous pump, it looks kind of crazy, right? From this bottom to this top, it moved 33% in only a few hours. And we can also see that we have this resistance, and we might break this resistance, but I do not think we will do it in the third try. This is the first try, second try, and now the third try. And I think it will drop back down at least to this level, and then maybe finally breaking out from this pattern. We can also see that it has a very clear formation like this. And guys, this is actually a bullish pattern. So I need to be very careful. It's a falling wedge, and falling wedges are bullish no matter if the price action comes from the bottom and pumping into this pattern like this, or if it comes from the other way. So even if the price comes from the top and falling down into this falling wedge, it is still considered a bullish pattern. So I'm pretty much playing with fire here because this will probably eventually break to the upside. But I'm hoping for a small correction down first, and hopefully the price can go back down and retesting this level and then breaking up, and hopefully I can take a long position into this breakout as well. And guys, my liquidation price is up here. This orange dotted line is my liquidation price. If the price goes up right there, then I will lose my entire account, but I will not let that happen. So I will monitor this trade manually at all times here. But if it happens, it happens. This is still burn money. I'm playing with burn money here. I'm not all in, guys. I'm all in with this sub account. So I started with $1,000 on this sub account, and I can't afford to lose $1,000 and then deposit more money and continue trading. All right, it's starting to look pretty scary here. I'm up only $14 on this trade, but the price action is going bullish again, so I will close this trade right now, not to risk too much on my account on this trade, because I think this trade will break to the upside, and therefore I will also change my bias on this coin, and I will now long this coin, but I will wait for this 5-minute candle to close. It has 2.5 minutes left before closing, and I will enter a long position on the next candle, because I don't like to have multiple activities on the same candle. So I closed my short on this candle, and I do not want to go long on the same candle. All right, so now there's a new candle, and it's time to go long right now. And again, the reason why I go long this coin, we have this bullish price action. It had a pump at 33% in 3.5 hours, and then we have a very clear falling wedge here, and a falling wedge is always a bullish pattern with a high probability of breaking to the upside at some point. But of course, it's never 100%, but I would say it's like maybe 60 to 65% probability to the upside. And if it breaks, it can break very hard, but if it drops, it might be a pretty slow drop. So I think it's a very good risk to reward on this trade. So hopefully it will go back up to this resistance and then maybe consolidating for a while and then boom. So hopefully within like 30 minutes to 1 hour, I will be able to take the profit on this trade. So let's see what will happen. And there we go, guys. It's already showing a very strong price action. Only 3 minutes into this trade, and I'm getting my hopes up for this trade. I'm now back to break even on my account. And if this price action break this line, it can lead to nice profits. So let's see if it will be able to break the previous resistance. All right, very nice entry on this trade. It was a very good thing that I closed my short when I changed my bias on this coin, because sometimes it can be very hard to close a position at break even or a small loss. Many scalpers and traders tend to stay in positions for too long because they want to avoid fees and slippage when they are closing trades. But this time it paid off doing that. I'm now up $100 on this trade, and I think it will break, and that can potentially lead to, let's do the same thing here again with the previous trade. So going from this top down to this bottom and just changing the angle here, that could lead to, from my entry, to a 8.26% profit, and that would be 41% with the 5x leverage. But I think it will not go all the way up there that fast, so maybe half of that profit. So let's add the limit order and pasting the price here, post only, and that would be a 5.65% profit, and that would be 28% with leverage included. And there we go, it's finally breaking out after 16 minutes into this trade, and now it's just a matter of how high it can be able to rise. All right, this trade is starting to look kind of weak, and I want to secure this profit even if it's only a small profit. But there's no need to risk losing this trade. So I made about $100 there. And now it's time to make a short scalp here on ARB. So that this will be a very quick short. So I'm now in the trade. So how I found this trade, I went to the 5-minute volatility coin list on my website. Again, you can find a link down below to this feature. It's free to use for everybody. And I saw that ARB is very volatile right now, and the volume is kind of insane the last hour on ARB as well. I went to the price action here and saw a pump at 9%, and then suddenly the price action started to look very bearish, and I think it will have a few more 5-minute candles dropping. So that's what I'm hoping for right now. And I'm in this trade with the 5x leverage. So let's see if I'm right with this trade or not. All right, this trade is not working out for me, and I will now reverse this trade. To be honest, I will go long instead because this price action suddenly looks very bullish instead. And I think if I still would be in that short position, I would get wrecked, and that's why I'm interested in reversing this trade and going into a long instead. And guys, this is not revenge trading because I only lost $19 on a trade, so I consider this trade a break-even trade, so it's not revenge trading. All right, so I'm going long on this coin right now. So there we go, and let's see if I'm right with this theory, and hopefully the price can go back all the way to this level, and that would result in a 3.3% profit times 5, so that would be a 16% profit. And in my opinion, the most important thing with scalping is not finding the probabilities. I mean, that's also important. Of course, it's very important finding probability trades, but in my opinion, the very most important thing in scalping is to have proper risk management. And what I'm doing when I'm scalping, I'm cutting losses fast. If I no longer believe in the trades, even if I don't have a stop loss or a take profit, I'm doing it manually very fast. And also, if I lose the entire account, I'm also completely fine. I will just deposit more money into this sub account and I will try again the next day. So that's very important for me when I'm scalping. Also, for me, it's important to make sure I never trade with too much money or too much leverage, because that will also change the psychology of the trader. I prefer to keep it simple, keep it small, and keep it reasonable, being consistent by doing it every single day and not trying to force trades, taking small profits and accumulate those profits over time. Even if a $50 profit looks very small, imagine 10 of those profits per day for 30 days. I mean, that's pretty good money in the long run. So those small profits are not to underestimate in my opinion. And when I'm scalping by a lot, sometimes I let the winners ride for a little bit longer as well. If I feel like I'm in a long position, for example, in a huge hype coin, I can hold it for a couple of hours and suddenly I can make a lot of money. But now let's see how much more this coin can pump. All right, there we go. Starting to look pretty good here on this trade, and I think it's time to secure this profit right now. Just like that, and now I made $124 on that trade alone, and I'm up $213 for the day so far. Not the biggest profit today, but it's way better than losing money, and again, these profits are adding up over time, right? And now I think it's time to revisit Nairo ETH USDT that I traded earlier today. I went long on this candle right here, and I sold here. I missed that breakout here, you know, if you remember. But now we had a big retracement down and retested this support line, and now finally it broke this resistance by conviction here, and I think it's time to long this coin right now to join into this next leg to the upside. And I'm now fully positioned into this trade with the 5x leverage on the 5-minute time frame, and hopefully it can break this previous resistance a little bit harder this time, and I think it will happen. So let's see if I'm right this time. It looks pretty good so far. I'm up $70 on this trade, and I think it will keep pumping in a moment here. So let's be a bit more patient on this trade. All right, not looking too good right now. The price went back down to the resistance line, and I'm now down $100 on this trade, but I think it will recover. I think it's just a retest of this previous resistance, and hopefully it can go back up very soon. Otherwise, I would have to cut this loss. All right, now it looks a little bit better again, and I think I will be fine. I think this will end up being a profitable trade. Alright guys, this trade does not look that good right now. This is my entry candle right there, and I'm losing quite a lot on this position right now, but I still think it can break up because this coin is very, very volatile, and I just have to be a little bit more patient, but let's see how it goes. Alright guys, this trade is dead, so I will close this trade at a loss right now. Alright, and it's now time to go long on Popcat. It had a move here at 4.5% in 40 minutes, so the volatility is pretty low on this coin. So I will use a 10x leverage on this coin. I might even use a 15x leverage because the volatility is that low right now. But I'm going to go long on this coin. and I'm now fully positioned into this trade. And I made a lot of mistakes today, and my only goal right now is to not end this day at a loss, right? So I'm trying to become at least break even, or even better, making some profit at least for today. But you know, days like these happens. It's impossible to win every single day, but let's hope that this trade would become a win. Let's see. All right, it's time's up for today, so it's time to secure this small profit here. And at least I was able to end the day at break even. I actually made $60 in profit today. Very, very small profit, but it's way better than a loss. And guys, with scalping, it doesn't matter what I make in one day. What matters is what I make in 1 month. Some days will be winning days, some days will be losing days, and some days will be break even, and some days will be a lot of profit, some days will be tiny profits. Each day is different. But if you enjoy content like this, where I'm showing my scalping without hiding the bad days, I'm showing everything. If you enjoy what I'm doing, please subscribe to the channel to let me know. Also like the video and comment down below what you think about these kind of videos. With that said, thanks for watching and see you in the next video.